Now it's time to start setting things up for a membership site. Now first, let's go down here to where it says Our PayPal. And click on that. Okay, you may get an error like this. This is the first time I've seen it, but if you do get it, what it means is you have to make a cache directory writable. So the way to find it is go to WP Content, Plugins, Our PayPal, and Cache, and then you can make that writable just like I showed you before. Okay, so let's go to our file manager. Okay, again, we want to be in our web root, public HTML. Skip this. Okay, so then we need to go to WP-content, let's go in there, then into plugins, then into ARE-PayPal, and then cache needs to be writable, it says. So we want to change permissions and make this 777. For some reason that didn't happen correctly. Now let's go back. Let's click on. Okay, there we go. Now we're all set to go. Now the front end here, we have some parameters to fill out. Text to show a visitor if they're not logged in, and text to show if content is not purchased by a visitor. Okay, we protect our content using some tags. So if it determines that they're not logged in, you can have them put some text out here. If it determines that they have to purchase some content, you can put it in the message in here. Here we can use the PayPal sandbox for testing. So I suggest that you do that the first time through. PayPal sandbox is just a duplicate of PayPal, but you can set up both a buyer and a seller side, and then you can test the whole thing. We have our different buttons down here that it creates. So that's our login button. This is our subscription button. This is just our regular pay button. And make sure you put your PayPal email address in here. Okay, once you've done that, just update the options. Now down here, it says page or post to show users purchase posts. We're not selling by post here, so we don't need to fill this out. We're selling pricing by the whole blog. Okay, so let's go back up to the next one here. We have post prices here, but we're not going to use this function because we're selling access to the blog. Okay, PayPal data is where it shows any PayPal transactions that come through from PayPal's instant payment notification. Blog price. Okay, this is where you set up the pricing for the whole blog. Okay, and this is what we're going to use. Okay, so let's set up our blog. And you can just put in whatever you want here. I'll just fill it out. Okay, so I put in here niche site monthly subscription. A number, this is any number you choose. The price you're going to charge. Currency has to be in a PayPal currency, so you have to use a PayPal currency code. Okay, so that's US dollars. And then how long it's going to expire. So we can do 30 days, which I'm going to use. You can also use 1 week. You use 1 month, or however many weeks you want, however many days you want, however many years you want. Okay, once you have that, just click submit. And your blog is now set to take payments this way. So $70 every 30 days. Now let's just talk about content for a minute. The idea behind an automatic blog is to deliver the content that you've already created. So you should have whatever content you want to deliver uploaded to your server somewhere. That way, when it's time for them to be able to download it, you just have to link to it in a page. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to create our content in pages. So let's create our first page. Actually, it's going to be created in posts. Okay, so what we do is we go to post and we do add new. Okay, now assuming we already have content, what we do here is either give it the name of the content or give it month 1 content. I'm going to say month 1 dog training site. Okay, and then you can give the details down here. Okay, so just something like that. Now you might want to add a category here. So let's just add a category. Let's call it private stuff. Doesn't matter. Okay, now let's click add there. Down here, this is our post visibility. So we want to hide this everywhere because this is private content. This will also hide it in the RSS feeds, so if somebody subscribes to our site, they're not going to get it for free. Okay, so let's publish this. Okay, so if we go look at our site now, let's just go to visit site. If we look in the archives, okay, it's not showing in there. So that's what we want. It's not showing along here anywhere. So now we have to give out that link for our members to be able to download the content. Okay, now there's another thing we want to do here. Let's go back and set a couple things here. Ultimate no index. So we want to set some things in here. So we want to set the no. We don't want any of these going into the search engines. So we can check all these. And then we enter the page IDs. We want no index and no follow on. Okay, and then we can check all of these as well. Let's update this. And I didn't get the page number of that first post. So let's go back to posts. Okay, now just put your mouse over trash here. Don't click it though. Now right at the bottom left, you'll see that there's a URL across there. And you'll see in there it says trash & post equals 9. Okay, so that tells you that this is post number 9. Okay, so what we want to do is go back to ultimate no index. And then we're going to put 9 in here. And we want to put 9 in here. Okay, and you'll do that with all of the content pages you're going to create. Just comma the next page, comma the next page. So if you're going to create 2 months of content to start, you would put post 9 and then whatever the next one is you'd put there. You can also add content over time. So maybe in a month time you're going to create the next 2 months content. You would create the posts and then you would put the page numbers in here as well, or the post numbers. Okay, so let's make a post for month 2. So add new. Then we'll do post 2. Or month 2, I should say. And then tell them what it is. Okay, weight loss site. Again, we'd put the content down here. Okay, just like that. So private stuff. And then down here, we want to hide everything. And then publish. Okay, let's go back to edit. And this is number 11. So now we go back to ultimate no index and we put 11 in here. So comma 11. Same with down here. Okay, so those posts are now hidden. Okay, now one more thing about posts. Let's go back here. Let's edit both of these. Now, where it says visibility public, edit that and click password protect. And we're going to password protect each of these posts. Now the reason we're going to do this is because if you have a member that figures out how to get to your post by page numbers, then what you can do is also password protect it. And we're only going to give the password out during these delivery. So if they happen to figure out how to get to your pages, they're not going to be able to get the content because you're going to password protect it. So I'm just going to make this easy so I can remember. We'll just put month 2 like that. And we'll update. Okay, and then same thing with month 1. Okay, so this is a little extra security for you. Okay, update. Oh, I noticed that we have uncategorized checked here. We only want private stuff checked. Okay, so update. Okay, so that's what we do. We set up all of our content pages. Okay, now the next step is to set up our delivery. Okay, now to do that, we use the autoresponder. Okay, so what's going to happen is when somebody joins our site, we are going to send them to our form page here, or to our opt-in page. They're going to opt in, and we're going to tell them that they have to opt in order to get the content. Okay, so what you want to do is put your email address in up here. So that's admin@nichesitemonthly.com. URL after registration. If we can put in there where we want to send them after they register, which is filling out the autoresponder form. Okay, so if you have a one-time offer, that's where you can put it. Okay, I'm just going to send them back to the home page. Okay, and we don't want them as double opt-ins. The reason is because we want to make sure that as soon as they fill in their email address, they get the first message. Okay, now we'll save the settings here. Okay, now we need to take this form code, copy it, and now we need to create a page. Go to Pages, Add New. Okay, and we can either put a title in here or not, it doesn't matter, but we will. Okay, so we'll say fill out the form. And then just tell them in order to receive your products, you must fill out the form below. Okay, so do something here to make it stand out, whatever you like. Okay, then we want to go to HTML mode, and then we want to paste the code in, and then we want to hide it everywhere, and we don't want it in the search results. Okay, so we'll publish. Now, if we visit the site, you'll notice that it's not showing up over here in Pages. Okay, when we click on private stuff, there's nothing showing up in there, so that's all good. Okay, so let's just go back here. Now let's view the page and grab the URL. Just grab it from your browser bar at the top. Here's what it looks like. So they're going to get to this page and they're going to fill out their name and email address. Okay, and that's going to get them into the autoresponder sequence that's going to send them to the pages so that they can get their products. Okay, so let's go back to the autoresponder. Okay, now next we want to go to email messages, and this is where we set up the delivery of the products. Now the first one is our message that we send out as soon as they fill out the form, and we set this to 0 days after registration. Okay, that means it'll send it immediately after they fill the form out. Okay, and then you put your message in here. Okay, let's just paste the URL in here. And then just put the welcome message in the top here. Now let's just add this for a second. There's something that we can do here, and I just forgot how to do it. If we go back here, you'll notice that in email messages, it says that you can use some tags, email and name. Okay, so if you want to use their name tag, you can grab this tag here. Let's go back to messages. Let's edit this one. So put okay, and then put the welcome message in here. Okay, so that'll address them by their name now. And then just put a standard welcome message and tell them this is where they can download the product. Okay, so I put in here, welcome to the site every 30 days, and this has got to be the same period that you set your subscription to. Okay, you'll receive a product BT email, whatever that is, by email. You can download month 1 below. You will be prompted for a password. The password is month 1 without the quotes. This is what we proofread. Okay, copy and paste the link into your browser bar to download your first product. I have a link here, regards, and your name. Now you'll notice that I have a link here. I told you to get that other page, but that isn't actually what we put here. So let's save this for now. And of course, what we need to put in there is the link to our first post. Okay, so if you go here and then go to month 1, go to view, right click, and copy link location. Now let's go back and edit our message. Just paste it in there. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's the initial one that goes out. Next, we put in message 2, which is going to deliver month 2. Okay, I actually had a plus product download link to make sure they open it. Okay, now you notice that it's doing something funny with quotes here, and that's why. Okay, let's just get rid of that. That's why I don't try and use HTML to give a clickable URL, because it acts up in here as well. Okay, so let's just change that as well. Okay, now we do month 2 here. Okay, so let's add that. Now what we didn't do is we have to set the days after to 30. Make sure that 30 days after they get the first product, they get their second product automatically. We also need to get the download link. Let's go to posts. Here's month 2. Copy link location. And then back here. Which needs this one. And then put the download link here. Of course, you can put more information in the messages, the product name, etc. Anything else you want to say in there. Okay, we'll save that. Okay, so now we have our first 2 months of messages all set up to go. Everything's automated and going to happen by itself. Now, there's one more thing we need to do. Let's go back to pages for a sec. Let's get the fill out the form page and copy the location of the form. Now we got to change something in Arc PayPal here. We're going to be charging subscriptions, so we need to change the return URL. Okay, so name is return, value equals, we need to get rid of this inside there and then paste in that URL. Okay, so now what's going to happen is when they pay, they're going to get taken to the form to fill out right after they've paid successfully. Okay, now that we've set that, we need to go up here and set this text. So text to show visitors not logged in. So we put that here. So you must log in to download your products. And here, text to show if content is not purchased by a visitor. I'm going to say that you must make a purchase to access the content or something like that. Okay, and we'll go down, update. Okay, we're nearly done. I'm going to end this video here, and we'll continue with the last steps in the next video.